Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you are returning. I'm so happy to have you here. Hopefully you are all on summer break if you guys are school psychologists or working in a school or trying to work in a school or even going to school. I hope that you guys are having a great summer so far. Every year I try to do a kind of recap, a review of what I learned or just things that I noticed from that year. So I have that going from my first year as a school psychologist up to now, and I just finished my third year as a school psychologist. So this video is going to be about the things that I noticed and things that I learned and some things that I just find helpful. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching. When I do my sit down videos, I like to kind of just do like 5 things because I feel like 5's a good number for tips, right? So I'm just going to do 5 things that I learned overall, and again, things that I think are helpful from my third year working as a school psychologist. So the first thing, and I knew this before, but just do your best. Like, people are going to disagree with you sometimes, and that could be multiple people depending on the school and what the situation is. The important thing is that what you are doing in your job, if you are doing your best and what you are doing is in the best interest of the child, then that's the important part. Sometimes, depending where you're at, you might do something and everyone else is going to disagree with you, or they might not like the decision that you made because it might not benefit them, or it might not benefit the school and make them look bad. There could be a bunch of reasons, but it doesn't matter. If what you are doing is because you're like, I'm doing this for the kid, I want what's best for the child, and this is what that thing is, then that's the important part. And you have to remember that at the end of the day, if you're doing your best, that's all that matters. The second thing I noticed is you do feel more confident in your third year. So I remember, I'm pretty sure I even said it in the first video, like I just second guessed myself a lot. And don't get me wrong, I still have cases and do things where I'm like, did I do that right? Is everything okay? But the amount of confidence I have now compared to what I had when I first started, it's grown a lot, and I feel more comfortable in the decisions that I'm making. Now, granted, I have been at the same school and the same district, so I think that has helped a lot, because even if I changed schools sometime during that 3-year work period that I've had, I think that I probably wouldn't be as confident, because whenever you move to a new school or a new district and all that stuff, you just kind of have to get comfortable and learn the environment. So that could take some time. But overall, in general, I think you're still going to feel more confident because you have worked as a school psychologist. So you learn things and picked up on different things, and you just know how to use those tools now. The third thing, kind of going along with the last thing I just said, is how you feel comfortable, but even if you do, you probably shouldn't get too comfortable. Don't settle. So what I mean by that is, by the time it's your third year, you kind of have a schedule of things that you're expecting to do. So for example, maybe in the beginning of the school year, you're going to just try to get to know all the students, and then you do the testing, and then after the testing, maybe you just get comfortable and know, oh, I'm going to test these kids, and then maybe every year in April you always have the same group or something like that. It's really routine and really expected. Where I want to tell you what I noticed that helped me was not doing the exact same thing, and also making changes to things that you have done before. So what I mean by that is, like, I've had groups all these years, but I've tried to have a different type of group each year. And since I have 2 schools, sometimes, like, I had a social skills group in my middle school last year, and then this year at my elementary school, I tried to have a group that was for reading, to help the kids get engaged with reading. And these were all different groups, different school ages, different kids. Everything about it was different, and it kind of keeps things new and interesting. So it kind of helps to stop that burnout that some people may feel. So it's good to have certain routines that you want to keep. And if you really find, for example, a group that you're like, I want to continue to do this, definitely keep doing that. But I am trying to say that don't get too comfortable and settle and do the exact same thing all the time, because it's going to get repetitive and then you might get tired of it. Plus, it's good to try new things and see what works, what doesn't work. You can always combine the things that you learn from what you did before and make it even better the next year. The fourth thing is kind of like a personal option for people, and let me just tell you what it is first. So don't overshare with your coworkers. So me personally, I don't overshare with people that I work with, just because to me, I'm like, I'm here to do this job. Don't get me wrong, I'm friendly with the people, and I might tell them general things like what I'm doing after work or what I had for lunch yesterday and what I'm gonna have for dinner today. But I'm not gonna tell them my whole background and my secrets and just advice for things that I would tell my best friend, for example. I don't do that with coworkers. And I'm just telling you this because I know sometimes when you get comfortable in a place, I've seen this happen with other people, they get comfortable with the people and they trust the people, and then they might start oversharing, and that could backfire on them later on, especially if they stop being friends or something happens. Or since you're in the workplace, maybe you do something and they might take it personally, even though it was just you trying to do your job, and then they have a problem with you because it's like, we were friends and you did this. So what I've noticed from things I saw in other people is it's just best to stay cordial and kind of neutral with people at work. Think of it this way. Your friend is going to be the person that you share things with, right? And someone that you trust. If your work friend is one of those friends, then do you talk to them outside of work? Would you invite them to your wedding? Do you trust them? Or do you only communicate with them during work hours? I know sometimes there are people who are best friends and then they work together. That's a little different than someone that you only talk to during the work hours because it's convenient, they're near you. That's a big difference right there. So just keep that in mind. The fifth thing is do what you need to do to take care of yourself first. My channel is huge on self-care, and while this is relating to self-care, I am going to try to relate this to work. You have to do what's best for you in the workplace before anything else. So an example I had was like, I'm a nationally certified school psychologist, and I knew it was running out this year that I needed to get the rest of the credits. So I really wanted to go to NASP so that I could make sure I had all of the credits so that I could renew it. Well, I know there was a couple issues that had happened with the district and me taking off those days. And I know some schools also fund you to go to conferences. Like I tried to get the district to fund me to go there and they wouldn't. But I wasn't going to let that stop me because I knew that I wanted to continue my certification and it was important to me. So I had to take care of what I needed to first and what I needed to do in order to go to the conference, and I made it happen. And my supervisor, amazing, he helped me like along the way, and he was good. He's so great. So I'm also really grateful to have had that. But I know there were obstacles in the way of me and him trying to get the district to let me go, which I don't think that should be the case. But there's a bunch of issues like funding and how much money and if it's relevant. There's just a whole lot of things. So it really depends on where you're at and if they're going to support you in that or if they maybe just don't have the funds to do it. My point with saying this is that if there's something that you really want to do in your job and it's for you and it's something really important for you to take care of yourself and to be the best school psychologist that you can be, I think that that is very important, and you have to make sure that you do that because, well, for one, you can't take care of other people if you don't take care of yourself. And also, it's gonna help you in your job, make you be a better school psychologist. So I really, really, really believe that you do have to take care of what you need to do, and then you can help the others. So these are the things that I learned in my 3 years of being a school psychologist, which is crazy to say. I'm going into my 4th year. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like I kind of just got out of grad school, but when I think about it, I'm like, wow, I was really in grad school during 2020 when all the COVID stuff was happening, which is crazy that it was that long ago, but time, it's flying, I'm telling you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I love doing the end of the year videos and kind of just wrapping it all up and then comparing later on. Like, it's like, oh, I felt like this after my 1st year, my 2nd, my 3rd. So it's really cool to see those differences as well. I hope though that you enjoyed. Again, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate that you guys watch my videos. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want to see. And if there's anything that you guys want me to really touch on this summer while I am out of school. We'll be beginning the new school year soon. Even though I really want this break to last for a long time, I know I'll be back in the school system soon working. So I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week, weekend, weekday, whatever day it is that you're watching it. And I'll see you soon. All right, guys? All right. Bye.